2.
We live.
So, welcome to the Beyond Celebrity Show. I'm your host, Cesar Pena. Of course, I got Miguel Sanchez, my co-host, producer, and we got a special guest today. One of the biggest Rihanna Navy was there day one. Got Rihanna to join me in Twitter and Instagram. His name is Miguel, aka Rude Boy X Fenty. How are you doing, Miguel? Introduce yourself.
Good, and you? Good to meet. Good to hear from you. It's been a while since we seen each other.
I know. Let them know. How did you become so close to not only to Rihanna? So how did you get like Rihanna to notice you and get her to follow you on Instagram and Twitter? You was one of the first ones ever to get that done. So how did that come about?
How it started was let me see how to put it. I've been a fan since she first dropped, like 05. You know, some people just been bandwagoning, they just started afterwards, but I've been there since day one, where people didn't think she was gonna be the star that she is now. People thought she was gonna be a one-hit wonder or something like that. So I was always there since day one. So what happened was I've been going to a lot of basically, a lot of signings. Like the first signing I went to started was the Rated R. It was at Union Square, the 24-hour one. I don't think it's 24-hour anymore. It probably shortened to 12 now, but before it was 24 hours at the time.
The Best Buy, right?
The Best Buy, yeah.
Yep.
I met her there and, you know, just kept going. She see my face, noticed me, and after that, it just became crazy. So it's like, but prior to that, how I actually got, I said something to her at the album signing, and she was like, I was like, I love you. You know, I've been a fan of you since day one. And then I show her my tattoos, because at the time, her tattoo artist was very, very, he used to work in West Village. That's the time when he wasn't really huge at that time. He didn't have his own shop. He was working under somebody else. I didn't even recognize until I was like, wait. I started looking, I said, that's Chris Brown on your wall? He was like, yeah, that's Chris Brown. I'm like, I said, all right, I want to get a star on my back. Like I said, I want an exact star, like, you know, because I like stars. And then I was like, which like Rihanna had. He was like, you know that I do her tattoos, right? I was like, oh shit. He was like, you want me to send it to her after you done? And he's like, yeah. So he sent her the tattoo. And she was like, oh my God, I love my fans. They everything, whatever. He told me to like a few days after he told me. So when I went to the Rated R signing, I showed it to her and then I talked about the conversation me and Bang Bang had. And then how he talked about me. He said my photo to her, and then she remembered. She was like, "Oh shit, that's you!" Then automatically, I was like, "Oh yeah."
She was in there.
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah." So she said, "I got you." So what happened was, I don't know. You were you in the line that time? Or you were outside?
No. I was working the press line. I was there. I made sure, like, I got all the fans. I got the video. It's on YouTube now. And I got the video of her with the little kids taking pictures with it was like Make a Wish that was there. And
yeah, I think the girl passed away. That little girl that I think she passed away years later, I believe.
Yeah. It was like a year after.
Yeah.
But I was there. You know, I've been there for so long. Usually I get her outside, but in this case, because it was so big, it was so like everybody was waiting for this album that I was there. I was in there. And yeah, go ahead, tell the rest.
So I was in there. I think at the time you couldn't. I think the people at the store was saying that you couldn't basically sign other things beside the album. I don't know if you remember that when they were saying that, but for some reason after I spoke to her, I was like, you know what? I love you. You're my inspiration. And she's like, I got you. I was like, can you sign my magazine? I think it was the Glamour magazine that she got on the cover that year. it was due to the Chris Brown situation. It was a Glamour magazine and she was on. And I asked her to sign it. And she said, yeah, I got you. And I don't think anybody else were getting other signing at that time besides the CD. So because she knew how much I was, I loved her, she was like, I got you. And I was like, oh, forever grateful. I was so excited because at that time, there were nobody else that were getting any more signature besides just the CD, because the store owners or the store people in the store was like, nah, no more signing, just the CDs. So I just had that brief conversation, just made me like, wow, she really, really remembered the whole situation at Bang Bang sent the photo of me, and it just brought up memories. And she was like, oh shit, this is actually you. She was just so surprised, and she smiled, and I felt so good that was like a start in my journaling for that day. I was like, you know what, I'm really gonna start banging with her. Like I'm gonna continue. Then I think during that time, I know if you remember, was it before or after? She had a Good Morning America show.
Yes.
She had on like a white blazer type outfit, and it was free concert.
I think it was the same day. I think it was earlier that morning before the Best Buy.
Yes. I went there. I think you had to wait outside for a long period of time 100%. Until she came out.
Yes. It was crazy. It was nuts.
It was bananas. Like, did you get to shoot any videos out there?
So when I went there, I was supposed to get a hookup to go there and shoot her from an area where they put the press at. And I remember the guy was like, it's full to capacity. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait for her at the hotel and get her at Best Buy. So I missed that completely, but I saw how big that crowd was. It was like,
it was
like 20,000 people.
I was in the second row. It was big. It was big. It was huge. And I think before that also, she had a New Year's Eve Rockefeller thing. I think, was it the same year? It was the same year. I went to the Rockefeller. It was cold. Jay-Z was out there. It was snowing. I don't know if you remember that year.
Nah,
and she had on.
I don't remember that.
It was a rated R year, but it was the same. It was going into New Year's.
Okay.
And she had on like this big hat, boots, gray pants. I think like a fur outfit, a fur jacket, like a hat with like some stuff coming down over her face. And then Jay-Z was right there, and then they were like snow. It was brick cold out there. I was waiting outside. Oh my God, the music, but the songs were good. Everything was good. It was just so brick cold. By the time I got into the subway, I was like, oh shit, my hands are freezing. Like I did so much. Like the more events I've been going to, I feel like the more closer I've gotten. To the point where the follow happened. To the point that the follow happened, and then we just start connecting every minute. Like we'll talk, we have conversation. Now I don't really talk about just about her alone, but we go deeper into personal conversation, like family situation. And she really gives great, if I had to tell you, she really gives great advice. Like if you need a certain type of advice, she's the type of person that will really sit there and give you a really good advice. And I've gotten a couple of few, but I definitely appreciated that.
So what Miguel is talking about, and this is the thing that puts Rihanna beyond any other celebrities that's out there, her connection to you in a personal level. Like she gave me business advice, you know what I'm saying? Like she gave me a list of things to follow business-wise, and I never put it up because, that was a personal thing. I know.
Absolutely, don't do that. Yeah, because
No.
I feel like certain things, it's like, I don't know the crazy part. I feel like some navies, they post, not to be rude or disrespect, but I feel like they post too many of the personal conversation. And I feel like it's no longer personal when you give that out there in the public for them to see.
I agree.
Certain things you should keep for yourself.
But this is the thing, right? Like, it's been like, I want to say 6 years since, she had a conversation, like 4 years, because my little man was born and stuff like that. And I just put that one out because
I loved it. It was a beautiful conversation.
It was so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's like poetry, because it was like, why is she caring that much, right? Like, why at a personal level? Like, she was so unbelievable. And when I saw her the next time I saw her, she was like, Cesar, you got to bring them out. But you know, Rihanna's schedule is so like all over the place that I can never,
lately.
you know what I'm saying? Like I can never, it's hard to bring the little man out there like that, you know? So
I
I
feel
still
like
got to do that.
now, like you see back then when we met, when I first met you at the Gansevoort Hotel,
Yeah.
you know, that's when it started. She started, I remember I think one day, I still can remember that day. Actually, the day when she had the short haircut. She did, I think it's the same day, maybe before a few days. I think it's the same haircut she used for the 7 Complex magazine. She did 7 covers for the Unapologetic. I think it was the same, maybe the same month or same, if I'm mistaken. She was heading in. She had a trench coat. I think you remember I posted that video many times.
Yes, you did.
That was the first. I think that was the first time I actually met her at that hotel. If I must be mistaken, that was the first exact time.
Because she was excited.
And she
was excited. Yeah.
And you see, so you saw how she, when I don't know if you watched the video and the pack, when I was trying to touch her, somebody was saying not to touch her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't you know she knows me, bro? Yeah. Like what the fuck is going on? Like she actually came back and she grabbed my hand. And when she grabbed my hand, the interaction was just beautiful. It was like, I'm like, he's telling me, but she actually coming to me. She's talking to me. Like I soaked up every moment. And then she touched my cheek, and then and it was just like, oh my God, that moment was just priceless. It was just like, I just couldn't imagine like the fact that she actually did that. Like, you know what I mean? I love her so much.
I know. She, you know, I miss those interactions. You know, I know with me, with 24/7 Pass, when I was growing the Instagram and stuff, I used to talk to her pretty much almost every day. And I miss those interactions because once I lost the videos too, but to 24/7 Paps, once Instagram took it away, I lost her follow, and then she followed me again. God. And then I lost it again. So I don't know, because I haven't had that conversation with her yet. She probably thinks like, you know, I don't talk to her like that no more.
No,
but it's weird.
I don't think she would think that.
No. But that's a conversation. That's a conversation.
Yeah, when you meet her in person, meet her in person. That like I'm surprised. I was wondering what happened to your page. You had a lot of followers.
So this is what it was. Besides the followers, it comes haters, right? So I was doing what everybody was doing with social media, right? I was taking pictures. And Rihanna wasn't in New York. Rihanna was in New York at that time, like 60% of the time. But when she's not in New York, she's in a whole lot of different
Was it at the time when she was living in Soho, or was it after?
Nah.
You lose your page.
I lost my page when she just started living in Soho. Because she was like flying to LA, flying to different places. So the fans were so much. Like I used to get so much love. Like one post used to have like 30,000 likes, you know, and I had to keep that up, you know, because it wasn't only Rihanna, it was Justin Bieber, it was One Direction. So I had to take pictures from different places and post it, you know what I'm saying? And it started becoming a fan site, and people were hating because they knew I was a paparazzi. So at the time, they didn't know about social media like that.
Absolutely.
And they literally wanted to sue me because they thought I was doing something with their pictures. So it was like a lot of copyright stuff.
Oh yeah. And I've been telling a lot of Navy sometimes to stop posting. When you post pictures of her, that's not really, you don't own that picture. You're putting your page in jeopardy.
100%. That's what's
like,
happening.
I know if you realize my page totally is revamped.
Yeah.
If you scroll down, it's not like years ago when you follow me, it used to be like swarm like of pictures of her because it was like a fan page at that time.
Yep.
But what I realized why I made that change, I'm still a fan of her, no matter what. But I feel like as you get older as a person, just certain things it's not that you grew out of it, but it's like what you do when you were 19 or 20, you just don't do anymore. It's like the love's still there. I will still support. I post pictures here and there. I just don't post a lot of pictures like I did back then. Because back then, when we first got our follows, it wasn't that bad. We weren't getting people reporting pages. Even Rihanna, I don't know if you realize, Rihanna Daily changed their name.
I know.
Rihanna Daily changed the name.
I had a conversation.
They
Rihanna
can't
Daily
post like that.
So Rihanna Daily, right? I had a conversation with Miguel, Mig, so Rihanna Daily is a fan site, one of the first fan sites.
I remember them. They had a website too, right?
Yeah,
they do.
So they had to change their whole name and everything because people were coming after them. You know what I'm saying? Like monetizing wise, like money wise, because they reach 1 million followers.
So this is what happens, man. So you understand the way technology works is these platforms, they grow up to a certain point and then they have to bring in advertisers, right? Because Instagram in the beginning, there was no advertising. So you could do whatever you want. They just wanted people to use it and grow.
Yep.
Then when the advertisers come in, they say, okay, you need to follow certain rules because our advertisers don't want to get sued. So that's when they put all these lockdown laws in and they kind of shut it down. And that's what happens. And then everybody so right now, TikTok and all that, I don't even know how they're doing it. They're getting away with it. But eventually it's going to stop too. You got to take advantage of the time when you can and grow as big as you can while it's there. And then you got to catch it and change. And 24/7 got shut down because of it. But you know, it's a normal technology thing. Like, it's going to keep happening. So one of the fans is asking, Ashley Bramwell is asking, what's the longest you've ever waited to see any celebrity? I guess both of you could answer that.
Wow. With Rihanna, wow. I remember I waited till like 2, 3 from in the daytime in the afternoon to like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. I've been there. I know Cesar's seen it, but we've been there. We've been waiting like afternoon all the way until like 2 or 3 in the morning. Like this, that's the longest I could say that we waited out. I waited outside.
So one time Rihanna, this one she was living in Chinatown. I waited for her like around, I got there like 11 o'clock in the, before noon. And she came out around 8 o'clock and she walked across the street to Jen's hotel. It was right across the street and it was all cool. I got her going in. I waited until 5 o'clock in the morning till she came back out.
Oh my God.
5 o'clock in the morning. I thought she snuck out. Wow. I was just like, we was dedicated. We were the only ones there.
Crazy. That she was in that place for that long, but that's it?
That's it. She was in there 5 o'clock in the morning, she came out.
Wow.
And she was like, what the hell you guys doing out here? That's what she told us. She was like, what are y'all doing out here? I was like, yo, Reed, we gotta wait.
You got that on video?
No, because when she came out, I got her on video coming out.
Was she dressed up or makeup on, or she was just
She had a long trench coat and everything like that. She had a nice coat. But we thought she was going to the club, and she usually go to the club at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know that.
Yeah, she do.
So she was dressed up all right, so I thought she was going upstairs to chill a little bit and then get dressed up and then go out. So we waited. And once you locked in, you locked in, you know what I'm saying? And, she came out, she was like, what the hell you guys doing out here? And it was hilarious. But we got her it was like 5 o'clock, 5:14 in the morning. But we had a lot of early mornings like that with her, like going out for breakfast after the club, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It was so many times that, doing her music. One time we waited till 6 o'clock in the morning. She was doing music with Swiss Beats and all them, but we call it Rihanna time. You just gotta wait.
I think if I'm not mistaken, you guys was out there when she was I don't know if you remember the song she had with Wale Bad.
Oh
She
yeah,
was going to
yeah.
the studio. I think you guys was there when she created that song. She went to the
100%.
studio to go meet him. I remember, if I must be, I might not be mistaken, but I remember you guys, before she put out the song, she was meeting him there. I don't know if she went to, it was in New York. They
Yeah.
did the song in New York.
Yeah.
I know they did the song in New York.
Let me tell you something. I was there. I never missed. When back in the day, she was in New York. I was there every single time. Everything she was doing, like I got over 1,000 videos of Ree. There's a lot of videos that I never put up of Ree. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of videos that like Melissa would kick my butt if I put it up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of videos that some of her friends would literally kill me if I put it up, you know, because there's a lot of people, you know, they wasn't looking, you know, the best, you know.
Yeah, and you don't want to, you know, make them feel uncomfortable about it.
You know, I never put nobody on blast or nothing like that.
You respect people's, you know, privacies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, those are the days. Those are the days, you know, especially when Ree was living out here. It was amazing, you know, and every day it was just like once you see her, it's like, all right, you know, like new energy.
I think when she decided to move to Soho, a lot of the standing situation changed because you can't be in front of her house. It's like you can't. That's why I never was there. Like I don't know how I remember a fan actually was in front of her house. 100%. I just felt like, all right, she follows me. We follow each other. It's just so weird that she sees me there standing in front of her house. We already have a connection. So standing there, just gonna like, just is something wrong with him? Like, is he crazy? Like, I don't want to be in front of my fave's house. Like, the hotel was different because the hotel was more of a public space, a public area, so you can do that. But once it's an apartment building or it's a building where someone living, that you just can't do that. That's like crossing boundaries.
Yeah,
that's why I never.
My best conversations used to be at her house because we used to never pap her there, but it never used to be seen or nothing like that. So we used to have amazing conversation with her in front of the house. But it'll be like 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? 4 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, those were the amazing times, you know, that, you know, you could share so much stories with her and stuff like that. And one of the craziest things was after my wedding, she went to the Barclays Center to watch the Nets. And she came out and she heard I had my wedding. So I was like, yo, Ree, what's up? She was like, I'm mad at you. And I was like, why? She was like, you didn't invite me to your wedding. I was like,
oh shit.
Like, this is real stuff. So she was like, why you didn't invite me to your wedding? That's crazy. I was like, I knew your schedule. Like when I was planning my wedding, like I thought of you, but I knew her schedule. She was gonna be in LA and she had a bunch of stuff that she was doing. So I was like, I wasn't gonna bother you with that. She was like, Cesar, I'm the boss. She was like, I would have changed my schedule to go to the wedding. I was like, really? Like I was like,
she's
damn.
So nice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, shit.
She's so cool. She's because so down to earth.
Knowing Ree, she would have showed up. You know, she would have showed up even for
she's
like
a good 10 spirit.
20 minutes, and she would have just been like, boom, here you go. You know, so yeah, that's just Ree though. You know, that's Ree.
She's a really good spirit. I just wish people see that. I think sometimes people see they get a perception that maybe she's an ass, you know, she's an ass or she's a bitch or she, you know, I mean, she has her moments. There's times when she doesn't want to take pictures. You can't be mad at her because she doesn't want to take pictures. She's a human being. So because she blow you off that day, doesn't mean she might not take it with you the next time. So people basically have bad experiences because she has a bad day and she may let it out on you, but doesn't mean she personally doing it on you intentionally. She's going through her shit, so she just don't want to be bothered. We're human beings. We all go through it. I've seen days. I think there's one time, one of your videos you post. I don't know if you follow this boy. His name is Nelson.
I think so.
She follows him on IG. I think there was a day. I think it was during Diamond's World Tour area. She came, it was in a tour bus or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. She came out. It was a crowd of people, like a posse of people. He got in his photo, I don't know if you remember, and he went back to try to get it, and she just hit his hand out of the way. I don't know if you remember that. You have it. It was like two sides was like packed. It was in front of Gansevoort. But I think they had like barricades too there. It was like a little barricade area. And then when he got the photo, she gave it to him. I guess he didn't like the picture and he tried to go and try again. And she just like.
I remember
that shit was crazy.
I remember those girls that came from another country and they tried to take a picture with her. And she ran into the joint, into the hotel, and she held the door, and the girls was trying to go in, and she was just looking at them like, yo, like, what are you doing? And the girls felt so crazy, but it was like, she like knocked them off and was like, yo, what are you trying to do? Like, where are you going? And the security had to kind of kick them out of there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy moments with Ree. Just being patient and kind of understanding that you know, Ree loves her fans, but you got to be patient with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to feel her out. You know, there's
basically
a lot of
her vibe. You just go by her vibe. If she's not feeling that day and she's not feeling, don't try to, because we human. You got to take away the celebrity status. Take away her celebrity status. She's still a human being. At the end of the day, we all human beings. The only difference is she may have more money than you. She may have, you know, more notoriety more than you. So you just basically just got to picture yourself in that person's shoes and understand, like, you know, they're not doing it just to take it out on you. They just going through their time. Sometimes people go through shit and they just trying to know how to deal with it at that moment.
Amen.
And I like, that's why I always give, you know, if I see something, I always be respectful, basically. If I see something, okay, sure, I'm gonna leave it alone. Just be respectful.
Mig, we got more questions?
So right now I'm about to text message our whole crew and see if anybody wants to come on and ask more questions. But not too positive. So one asked about, were you around during the Chris Brown time? I don't know if you want to answer that.
I was. I mean,
Cesar was. I don't think I came around the time when they.
You won't see no video. You won't see no videos of that. But
C's was. I know C's was. I saw a video when she was in a long red shirt.
Yes.
And they left the hotel different timings.
Yep.
I think that's the time when he was going back and forth to see Karuche and he was seeing her. If I must be tripping, it was in the same time.
I ain't gonna go there.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but.
But I was there. Like I got a few videos of them actually together at the airport. I got them together walking into the club together. You know, I got some of those videos, but I ain't never gonna post those. Those are my archive. Those are in my vaults. My when I have to sell.
It's crazy because a lot of Rihanna, I don't know if you know Rihanna fans, they want them back together. If they see that, they'll go wild. If they see you posting that, they will go wild. Because there's people that I know that actually love him and they love her.
I mean, Chris
they love them both.
Chris wasn't bad. It's just that was a different time. They were so young. Young
and in love at the time.
Yeah, I mean, they was in love, but the people around them was like real gangster. Like they had like hood people around them. Like it was dangerous at times because they wasn't understanding paparazzis. So it was getting like people were like knuckling up. Like I used to roll with like a bunch of like Jamaican cats and Trini people, you know what I'm saying? And we were like, yo, like it had to take somebody from their camp to be like, yo, I played ball with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew like one of Chris Brown's cousins that I used to play basketball with him.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, he mad cool. Like let them roll. And then after that, it was getting calm. It was getting calmer, but it was bad. It was like we was gonna go.
You feel like you were in the hood in a way.
Yeah. Like we was gonna like fight. Like it. And this happened with Kanye West a couple of times early on, but they understood that we was hood too. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't gonna back down. But he understood I had a job to do, and I'll do it to the best of my. Like I'm not gonna down you, and I'm gonna ask if you're good and ask like cool questions. but I'm not gonna get punked. You know what I'm saying? So we had those kind of confrontations, but it made us better and it made the situation better because we had those conversations afterwards, because it just didn't make sense. Like, if you come at me negative, you know, and why do that if I'm not doing the same thing to you? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
I had to try it out a couple times like that. Chris Brown
And people was really
I didn't do too many of those though. I have a handful of videos, but I didn't do a lot of those because of that situation, you know? So yeah.
and people was really at the time, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I loved I was mad at him at one point, but at the time when they went back to each other, I didn't get it, but I respect it. I respect her. I mean, when you love somebody, it's hard to you want to show the world that there's more, there's a good side to this person that you don't see. You just see that one incident, because people are really like blaming him for that one incident. And when she took the chance to give him another chance and forgive him, they were like, what's wrong with her? And I just really was just supporting her. I was like, I understand, when you love someone, you're willing to give them one more chance to see if they can prove that they are a changed person. They are a better person. They can do better. Because she got a lot of slack for that. A lot of people were upset when they went back to each other.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I had Reese back 100% there. I had Reese back, Drake. I had Reese back with any of the guys that she's been with. I always had her back. You know what I'm saying? And I never, like, I'll cover it, but I never, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never ask her nothing about it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do video and stuff, but I'll never. Like, I never got into that with her, you know what I'm saying? And I think she appreciated that a lot. Because I was
to be honest, you were one of the closest. I felt like there were other paps out there when I see you go out there and you interact with her. I think she interact with you more because the other paps, I don't know, they just don't have the vibe that you got when you're out there with her. I think they're just out there to take a shot and that's it. You want to build a relationship. They're not trying to talk with her. They don't have that. They don't have that vibe. There's all these other paps. They're just surrounding. They're just jumping out of car, jumping off the bike just to take pictures. But you interact. You talk to her. You ask her how she's doing. I doubt I hear a pap asking her that besides you. They don't ask her that. They're just there for the money. That's it.
Nope. Mig, what you got?
So, all right. So Maria, who's been with us a few days in a row, she asked, what are your plans as a paparazzi for the next 2 to 3 months, which we may be stuck inside? Other than live videos, do you have any plans?
So my podcast, of course, we're thinking about making podcasts per season. So I'm talking to me, I want to talk to Miguel about that. Like, do 10 episodes and that's a season, and do another 10 and that's second season. I'm thinking about things like that, or just go straight on to 1,000 podcasts. But I think my storytelling right now, I'm really getting into that. And for now, that's what I'm going to do. The paparazzi world right now is, it's not there right now because of social media and stuff like that. But besides that, I'm not concerned about, being a paparazzi right now because of what's going on out there. My concern is my family and stuff like that. But I get the question. There's really nothing that's worth my health to go out there.
It's very competitive. I feel like being a pap is a very competitive because it's like fashion. Fashion the same way. It's an industry where you got to be different. Everybody is doing the same thing. You have to have some type of way where you stand out of the other person. You have to have some type of niche. With paparazzi is like it's kind of the same job. So it's like whoever man got the best picture, the best shot of that person, they're gonna get a good paycheck. That's basically what it is. So it's like it's a competition. Everybody's trying to fight to eat. That's what I feel. It's like you're boxing. You're Mayweather. You're trying to win. So every man for himself. You gotta eat. So that's what I feel with the pap business. Like it's a competitive business.
It is. But I get the question that she's saying. She's more saying that, what am I gonna do when there's no celebrities out there like that right now?
Absolutely, you have to have a plan A, B, C, D. You got to have a lot of different plans.
And that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like we here, and that's why me and Miguel, we got so much we're planning besides what we're doing right now. That is in the works right now. It's almost done, but you have to have different plans. Paparazzi just can't be the only thing that you're good at. Fortunate enough, I have a good crew that we're building. We've been building for a while. So yeah, I mean, yeah, paparazzi. I had fun for 15 years. And of course, I'm not gonna give it up. But
what year did you start? I have to ask it.
2004.
What?
Yeah. So I've been doing it for a very long time, and pretty much I had enough. I mean, I've been through so much, but right now, I'm just, we're trying to transition to a different world.
Basically, the idea is connecting with the fans, right?
Yep.
So the real idea here is how do we give the fans more of what Cesar has done through the pictures and videos, right? So even this right now is us engaging with the fans more, and eventually we're going to be able to work with the fans in a different way, which is what Cesar has been talking about. We're building something cool, and it'll be ready in a few months. It'll be ready right when we get out of this quarantine. But right now we just want to get back in touch with the fans, see who is the next up and coming people, and start interviewing them now, making relationships with them, even without being papped, and that's pretty much what we plan on doing now. We want to know from you, who are the top people you want us to interview. We're going to try to get them on the show, and then they're going to get papped. It just might not be by Cesar, but it'll be by one of our people, and then eventually Cesar will go back out every now and then. But right now, Cesar's going to be more of the general, he's gonna lead the paparazzi army.
Yep. Miguel, your mic is off. Rude boy, your mic is off.
Shoot, it's on now.
Yeah,
you hear me?
Now.
Oh God, how you could tell?
It says it right there. It says the mic is off. So Mig, we got any more questions?
So Maria said, you should take care. Stars at Home is getting out of control here in Europe. Thanks for the answer. No other questions yet. Anybody have any other questions? Ashley Bramwell said Louis Capaldi. He's one to watch.
Let me tell you something about Louis Capaldi. I had a chance. I had a chance to get him on Z100's Jingle Ball, and oh my God, he's probably one of the nicest guys that I met. New up and comers that I met, and I've been following him a little bit, but he hasn't been in New York a lot. And I got him. I think I got him up on the YouTube on the Jingle Ball one. But Louis Capaldi, he's one to watch. Definitely. Thank you for that. But I definitely got my eyes on him. Yeah, he's good. He's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say, Cesar, why didn't you get to see her the last time she was in New York?
That's a great question. I was
the day when she did the fashion for the Fenty thing in Bergdorf. I was like, why Cesar wasn't there? Like, that was a perfect time to talk. I don't know why you weren't there.
I wanted to go so bad. The missus had she worked real late that night. And when she got home, she was not having it, right? She came home like around 7:00. The thing started at like 8. And I was ready to go. I had my clothes on. I was like, I'm ready to go out the door. And then I'm calling her and she's not answering. I was like, oh my God. So
that means you had to go.
I had to take care of the kids. I had to take care of the kids after that, because once she got home, she wasn't gonna come home.
Out.
She knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take care of the kids, put the kids to sleep at 9. Then I was hearing all the stuff that was going on, that she, you know, she posed outside and everything like that. But that's how the business goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to pick and choose. You know, family first always. And
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's gonna be another time. It's gonna be
Because
another
there's
time.
always other opportunities. There's always opportunities. It's crazy because I was literally almost out there to go there. And my friend, we were going, and she was like, I'm already dressed, but we weren't sure if I saw barricades out there, but I wasn't sure if she was going to actually be there. That was probably was a hint, but I wasn't sure if she was actually going to be in. Sometimes people promote stuff, because I've seen time when she promoted stuff and she didn't actually went to the store.
No.
So I was like, it's a give and take. You never know. Like with her, she's unpredictable. You don't always know if she's gonna always be there.
You see, Miguel.
So when I saw that,
should have hit me up, because I 100% knew. Like, I literally was dressed up, ready to go, and I just couldn't go. You know. So anytime you think like you feel like
you have an instinct about something, just always ask you.
Always ask me, because you know me, I got the inside track on that. So just let me know.
We get more questions.
Oh, someone is there.
More questions then. All right, so Ashley asks, who is the most difficult celeb you've come across? That's one. And then we got Go Santi. She said perhaps the Santi Fenty. I guess she says, I love your podcast. She said you're so professional and respectful. Let me see. I mean, hold on. You want to answer the difficult question?
So one of the most difficult, pretty much, like, I usually have a good time with almost everybody, but one of the most difficult ones is probably like Leonardo DiCaprio. We play this thing called, it's always like a cat and mouse game with him, because he's always doing something crazy. So yeah, he's probably one of the most difficult ones, but I get him all the time. He's just difficult. Once you see a paparazzi, anything, he just covers his face. But yeah, he's probably one of my most difficult ones.
So Go Santi asked, when was the last time you saw Rihanna? When was the last time you took video of her? Yeah.
A couple months ago at the airport, when she had that bag, the see-through bag, she had a see-through. So she had a luggage, right? And it was see-through. So you saw everything that was inside the luggage. Everybody was talking about it. That's when I told her, I was like, yo, we got to go get some coffee next time you come over here. But yeah, it was a couple months ago.
So you can find that video on the YouTube or no?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Could.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on there.
All right. No other questions so far, but yeah, I mean, I guess for you, Miguel, any advice for up and coming super fans? We consider you a super fan, right? So what would you tell up and coming super fans? What should they do? What shouldn't they do? If they find their Rihanna, what should they do?
I think, because I don't know, for Cesar, you know the whole situation. Back then it was easier to stand out and by restaurants. I don't know if you ever heard of the restaurant, was one of her famous spots was the Savanos. It was a very, very popular spot. It was very cheap too. Their food were probably like $20 or less. Thank God I went there before it closes down. I'm surprised it did, because it was a very celebrity hot spot. A lot of people was going there at the time.
It was the owner.
I think
the owner, he was doing too much other stuff, so he had to close it down. So go ahead, Miguel.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the owner was doing too much other things. He couldn't afford it. He couldn't afford the rent there.
I heard it was expensive, but like celebrities was going there. Everybody was going. I'm just surprised that they couldn't afford the rent.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, we'll get into it later. But he was doing too much other stuff, and it was a lot of Me Too movement kind of heading his way. So he needed to get out of there. It was a lot of things going on with that guy that was not good. So he was the nicest guy though. Nello, big shout out to Del Savanos, but You know,
Yeah.
he was a great guy, but he was just doing too much extracurricular stuff.
Could he stop anything did he had a chance to stop it to save the restaurant before it went to where it is at the moment? You're not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't even know where he is now. But
that
I
was
heard he had
really a good restaurant. The prices were very reasonable.
Dal Silvano's was the first time I ever met Rhea in 2005. That was the first time I met her. And she kept going there, going there. I remember when you saw her there, you know, like you could just wait there when Rhea's there. And if you go there 3 times, you'll see her at least twice out of the 2 times out of the 3.
Oh shit.
So Miguel, if you had a younger version of you, like what advice would you give your younger version of yourself? Like somebody coming up, let's say your little brother or somebody younger than you. Like what advice would you give them if they love, let's say, that next superstar? Like what advice would you give that person?
I would say whenever there's an event presents itself, you should make sure you go. Like that's a start to have a building a connection with the person that you love a lot. Also, if you have a good relationship with the pap or something like that, you may be able to know where the whereabouts. You can basically go with the pap, but be respectful when the person comes out of whatever, if it's a restaurant, just try to see how you can get your voice across to them so they can see you and you build a connection with them. But you got to be going frequently. Don't just be there one day and then 2 months later they're not gonna know your face. So you have to try, making sure that you're noticeable all the time they see you. Like, oh, I've known this, I've seen this person. Oh, I remember him. He was there on this date. And also going to tours, if they see you on your tours, it depends if you're a person who buy front row. They see you in front row, they know you, they say, oh, I've seen you in front all the time. That there's a lot of way of building to get closer to the person. And those are just the main way of going.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that's one of my things too, right? And I've seen this game for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanna, you gotta put in the legwork, right? You gotta put in brick by brick. Like you, Miguel, you went there from the very beginning and saw the spark in her eye, right? You saw that spark in Rhea. And that's what, you gotta be there in the beginning. If you wanna be there till the end,
now it's kind of hard. Do you agree with me now? Back
it's
then,
so much harder.
like in 2012, I think 2000, around 2011, 12, it was really, really like, it was good then. It wasn't so bad. You could always catch person now. Now when the person that are a different type of status in their life, it's kind of hard. You can't get the same treatment you got when you were in 2011, 12, 13. It's like a whole new change. So I advise people.
Right? But you got to roll with the times, right? Hard work is just hard work. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to figure out what's the new ways of doing things. You know what I'm saying? Like I see fans now that's real close to Billie Eilish. You know what I'm saying? And they put in that work. And Billie Eilish just became popular like a year ago, 2 years ago. And I see fans beautiful pictures with them. So at the end of the day, I feel like groundwork, putting in the work while they're not that hot, but figuring out if they're gonna be big day one, right? And I always talk about day ones, right? Because I've always been day one in most of these celebrities' lives. So, but when I see the fan day one, it carries over to now that they're real good friends and they could talk to them and stuff like that. So day one has to be there. It has to be there.
Absolutely. If you're just coming up, it's not going to be the same. You have to start that journey to get where you at now, because
it's not going to happen in R9.
It's not the same.
It's not going to happen in R9.
It's not at all. Like I'm super grateful. I thank God for it because I'm super grateful that I had the opportunity, because there's like millions of other people who wish they had the same opportunity that I did. So I'm not, I don't complain. I just, take every blessing as it is that it is. and just, take it step by step, because I did it. I did all waiting out in the cold, doing this, doing that. We did it. We different weather, different seasons. We did it, but we had to do what we had to do, for her to see us. It worked. It paid off. It may come off a little crazy, but we did it because it's crazy. I don't know if you remember, Janice was one of her biggest fans. As Janice, right? She started doing that. They was one of the day ones. They were doing it.
Yeah.
She was inviting them in her hotel.
I know. I remember.
They were her day ones.
Yep. I was there. I was there when they didn't even know her like that. You know what I'm saying? That they just became fans, and I used to hook them up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like I was there. I was there from the beginning of a lot of people's journey especially with Reed, but a lot of journeys that came up with a lot of these big time celebrities that's out here right now. That's why, I'm the OG out here,
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, you the king of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. So what's up, man?
I'm getting more questions here. All right. So all right. So Charles asked, due to the big expansion of social media, are people less mesmerized by celebrities?
Wow. That's a great question. I think social media put a stop to a lot of big paydays for paparazzis, because it's not there like that no more. I mean, I still was doing my thing until recently, but when it comes to like what are celebrities up to, before social media, no one knew what celebrities were doing, besides when we used to get video or pictures of the celebrities actually going out or, doing anything. So money was flowing. But nowadays, you got shows that just run stories off of celebrities' IGs, celebrities' Twitters, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So the game changed a lot.
Facts.
Yep. Mig, you got anything else? Miguel. Is he stuck? Yo.
Repeat again. Repeat what it said.
I think he's stuck.
Who, me? You can hear me?
No, Miguelito. The other Miguel.
Oh my God. What did it say?
So what Mig, what do you think about the new song with this guy
Party Next Door?
Party Next Door. What do you think about that?
It's a really good song. I actually like it. Yeah. Some Navies were saying they don't like the fact that it was like she more doing like background vocals. They wanted her to be more, say that she had like a verse or something. She didn't really have like a verse. She just had the chorus part of it.
Yeah.
But the song was pretty good. I think it's a good start. It's a good start for the year, because we haven't been waiting for EP for how long? We haven't got an EP as of yet. So it's kind of it's like an appetizer.
Yeah.
You get a little appetizer and you just try it, and then you might get the rest later. I feel that's it. It's like an appetizer, and we're just gonna have to wait for what's coming in. I feel like the album is leading up to the album. I feel to her actual album. So that's the start. Absolutely. That's what I think.
I mean, I don't care too much about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay, but I know what's coming. I know like Ree is so like making sure everything is a banger, right? So I know what she's gonna bring, and it's gonna be crazy. Like she's gonna blow everybody away. So people should have fun right now with their music, but when Ree come out, she gonna blow everybody away.
Because people are just, every time she posts anything on her page, people always keep asking about her music, new music. And it's all about patience. When you wait, the best comes out of it. It's best when you wait. It comes to those who wait. And I feel like just waiting at this moment, I know it's been so long. It's been since 2016 since she dropped the album. So I understand why people are frustrated and they want new music, but think about it. you want great work. You want great body of art. So if you want it to be great body of art, if she taking 2-3 years, maybe this is the reason why she wanted to be perfect. She's not gonna put on something that's mediocre. You don't want a mediocre album. Because look, Anti was a great album. She wants to top that album, actually. She wants to do better than what she did with Anti. So that's why she's taking her time.
Yeah, that's what she does. That's what she does. You know what I'm saying? Like she's so maniacal about her things that she could have a full album now and she'll get rid of like 5 songs and put in a brand new 5 songs in there. You know what I'm saying? Like she's definitely it's gonna be one of the best albums. Mig, what's up?
So Maria's asking, is it getting more difficult to be a pop? You kind of answered this already, but she asked, the celebs in the music industry are not popular for decades as Madonna and people like that. Gaga was there for a few years, and now it seems like most of them are popular for a year or so. What do you think about that?
I think it's true, right? Social media killed the whole surprise, the kind of like, oh, they did that? Oh my God, like the whole, like, what are they doing now type thing? Because they get it in abundance. They get it all the time now. You know, they don't, like Kylie Jenner, all of them, they get it like this, live, instantaneously. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the paparazzi game is really, really skimming down. It's winding down like pennies. Like people are not making nearly as much they was making even a year ago. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's still money to be made because stories are always going to be, you know, money, but it's not the same. It's definitely not the same.
This is why you have to have multiple jobs.
Exactly.
Ashley asked, what's the craziest experience you've ever witnessed between a celeb and a fan? She asked both of you.
A celeb and a fan?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, that's a great question.
Oh, I remember one. I got one.
Go ahead,
Cesar was there. You were there, Cesar. You remember? You remember? It was a time when it was in Gansevoort. Ree came out like in a Shaft type of jacket. I don't know if you remember, a long black coat. It was like Shaft. Okay. Heavy leather jacket. She had like a short haircut, like a short little bob hair.
Yeah, for sure.
And we were outside that day. Remember the girls was trying to go in the door with her?
Yeah.
And then she was like,
"Oh yeah,
that was embarrassing." You remember that shit. I just sit there and I didn't want to laugh at them. I was laughing inside because I didn't want to laugh outside. My body wanted to laugh. I was like, "No, don't do that. That's not nice." But that was just
especially getting on video. But the craziest thing with me was actually with Ree. It was 2 days before Christmas. Rihanna came out in an all blue fur jacket with Melissa. It was like a Smurf jacket.
Toys R Us.
Yo, no bodyguard. We went to Times Square Toys R Us. There were like 10,000 people inside there. So we pulled up in front of the Toys R Us, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it's no way she's going in there. No way. Like I wasn't even thinking about
no
it.
bodyguard.
I was like, no way she's going inside. I thought she was going to send the driver inside to collect something and then bring it back to the car. Yo, she came out of the car, walked in with Melissa through the front door, and nobody was noticing her. So it was like 3 paps there, me, my ex-partner, and somebody else. And we were like, yo, do not shoot her right away because people, once they see her, people are just gonna go crazy. So I videotaped like her from afar. Like I was going like behind the big giraffe and stuff like that. And I was shooting her from far. And she was like moving through. People wasn't noticing her. And it's no glasses, no nothing. I'm talking Rihanna. So New Yorkers do what New Yorkers do, right? I heard a couple people like, damn, she looks like Rihanna, right? People just like, yo, she looks like Rihanna. Wow. So a couple more paps came in because they heard about her going to the Toys R Us. Let me tell you something. 5 people saw her. Oh my God, it's Rihanna. Let me get a picture. 10, 20, 100 people surrounding her inside the Toys R Us.
Where was the pap afterwards?
The paps were just papping her like all around inside Toys R Us. Everybody was inside Toys R Us.
What about the bodyguard? Did they come eventually?
I had to be bodyguard. I had to take over being bodyguard. So I had to drop, like, I put the camera away and I went up to Rihanna. I was like, yo, Rihanna, you gotta go somewhere else inside and you can't be here because they're gonna crowd you. And she was just laughing. She was like, hey, like whatever. And I was like, yo, Reed, like this is about to get crazy, Reed. Like we gotta go somewhere else. So I got 2 of the workers. I brought them over. I was like, listen, this is Rihanna. And they said, hi, oh my God, it's Rihanna. And they put her into a dollhouse. And then that's when Melissa came out. There was about 500 people waiting by the dollhouse.
What?
And Melissa had to walk around and get everything. And then you see, like Rihanna, you could hear her from the dollhouse, like, I don't want that shit, right? So Melissa had to go back out and grab stuff. And then she brought like 5 things and she was like, we buying it. So when she came out, everybody was like, Rihanna. They had to call cops. It was the sickest thing I ever seen.
And I think it's not the first time she did it too. She did it in Soho when she had the red hair and the jersey on, and she walked out in the street like there were no bodyguards with her and Melissa.
Yeah, I mean, she did things like that, but in a confined, in the middle of Times Square, and that place is always crazy, especially like even at 10 o'clock at night, it's crazy. But that's the craziest thing I ever seen a celebrity do. I mean, I got more in my head, but
I'm glad you protected her from that night. I'm so glad you did.
The questions are coming in fast and furious. You hear me?
All right, let's do it. Go ahead, Mick.
Okay. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of them. How do you know where artists are?
Oh, you gotta put in the work. You know what I'm saying? It stems from knowing even knowing drivers, knowing security guards, knowing even the celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's work. It's a lot of work. Knowing, movement, how people move. Hotel doorman. It's just, especially if you do your job real good, people tell you whatever you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? And then it makes your job easier. So just putting in the work. Can't get away from the work.
All right. So Alan again asked, what does Rihanna smell like? Does she smell like
amazing?
Go ahead, rude boy. What does Rihanna smell like?
She smells really good. She smells like flowers. And when she, I feel like when you get close to her, the scent comes on you too, and then you leave with the scent. It's a beautiful scent. That's what I think.
She smells like nothing that they have in the market. nothing. Like it's so crazy. It stays on your clothes for days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she knows it. And when she hugs me like real tight. So all my clothes, everything, even my shirt, be smelling like her. It's crazy. She's the only one that could get away with that though. The Mrs. Deleuze, she knows.
I heard someone said she smelled like heaven. I'm like, you ain't lying about that.
Real. Ain't no lie.
All right, that was it. Yeah. How do you want to end it, Cesar? Also, Miguel, is there any place people can find you? Anything that you want to plug? Anything like that?
Miguel?
Cesar, oh, me?
Yeah. They know where to find me. Like these fans, where can they find you? Like where can they find Mr. Rude Boy Fenty?
You can find me on Rude Boy X Fenty on RG, or you can find me on Twitter, Miguel Dope Fenty. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, one time for Big Miguel.
This is so cool.
I love your name. You have a great name.
Yes.
So in closing, everybody, please stay safe. This coronavirus is getting nuts. You know, right now in the city, it's getting
You
in
saw what I post about on my story? How
I
many
haven't.
people? I think you saw it. See there how many people laid off. You know how much people laid off in New York?
Yeah.
I posted 3.2 million. That's a lot of people.
Well, that's the start. That's the start. You know, the scary part is, you know, there's even doctors dying. You know what I'm saying? Like NYPD is catching it. You know what I'm saying? So there's nobody in these streets to protect us too. You know, so
yeah,
it's getting bad. It's getting bad. You know, if you guys got to stay home, just stay home. You know, and really just chill out.
People are going into parks and working out because they can't go. They don't got no gyms because the gyms are closed now.
Man, work out in your house, please. But please be safe. Please, you know, take this serious. Go ahead, Mick.
Yeah, definitely stay home. Stay home. Just it's not worth it, right? Like at the end of the day, this will pass. But if we all stay home, you know, for a little bit, it's gonna suck. But it's better than, you know, getting someone in your family sick. You know, like your grandmother.
Absolutely.
Like that, you know.
Absolutely, I agree. Especially there's a high rate now, and I don't know if you guys heard about Trump that he wants everybody to go back to work around Easter, and I really find that really bogus because
but he's changing day by day. I just heard him a little while ago. He don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like all his people are telling him like he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like no,
a lot of people are gonna die if you do that. Like right now, the hospitals are overwhelmed already. Nope. You know, depending on where you are in the world, it's probably the same way for you. We're in New York. I'm in New York. It's bad. We got more cases than China.
Rude boy, Miguel's in what, Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Someone actually died the other day, and a principal actually died in Brooklyn due to Corona, which is ridiculous, and it's no joke. That's why I'm like, why would you want people to go back to work, open gyms, open school? You're giving 100%, 110% of people to get exposed to the virus, and it's no joke. And you don't want that. You want to eliminate the problem. You don't want the problem to occur and be worse.
Yep.
You don't want that at all.
Amen. So in closing, stay home. Love you guys. I hope you guys got enjoyment off of this for the last hour. I know. I told you Miguel was gonna be 15 minutes. We was hour. That's the trick. That's the trick.
That's how we get everybody.
But it was a dope flow. That was a dope flow, though. You was flowing.
Yes, it was so good. I enjoyed it.
You had a good time?
Yes. You made me comfortable because I already know you already how you're really a good person. So it made me comfortable to do the interview with you because we already have a really deep connection and a good vibe.
Thank you.
So yeah, share it with the Rihanna Navy that you were on here. We're gonna try to get more fans on. We're trying to get more questions answered. We're trying to connect with the fans. We're trying to find out who's next. We're trying to interview, you know, superstars that are up and coming superstars. So, you know, stick with us.
Absolutely.
Checking us out every night. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you, Miguel.
One time for Miguel.
This is so cool.
So thank you, Miguel. So to end the show, much love to you guys. Hope you guys are well. Take care of yourselves. Peace.